Creature feature.
What's up, my fellow adventurers? This is Adam at G.I. Joe The Lost Chronicles, deep in the TLC bunker. Welcome to another edition of Creature Feature. Going to show you some cool monsters, some custom cryptids, and just some overall cool adversaries for your 1/6 scale G.I. Joe adventure team. So this is a custom I did about 2 years ago, guys. I found this figure at an antique mall. Now, I find most of my stuff at antique malls and yard sales. It's just a gold mine of what you can find. But this originally was a Marvel Venom action figure. He stands about 16 inches tall, and he's pretty posable. The arms move, the hands move, the legs move, the hip moves, bends at the knees, and the feet move. But just the scale of it, I thought that I could make something really cool. And this is my interpretation of a Yeti or a killer Bigfoot or a killer Sasquatch. So I'll bring it in. I did completely repaint the body. Then I covered it in fur, which I think it turned out pretty cool. You can see that. I did resculpt the head, made it look more like a primate. And again, covered it with fur. But I used this in one of my photo stories. It's the Monster of Magallum Rim. But really happy with this custom. Thought he turned out really nice. We'll set him right there. And I'll show you how he scales with a Joe. Look at that. That is a perfect scale for a great monster villain adversary for your G.I. Joe team. Okay, this is a figure I picked up again at an antique mall. I think I paid, I want to say it might have been $35 for this guy. But this is a Warcraft figure. Completely customized him. If you guys haven't seen it yet, he was featured in me and Jeff's crossover photo story, The Time Phantom. This was Athosius. He was an ancient elder. But I'll show you what I did. Completely repainted the body. Gave him a really cool face paint. Redid his hair. Turn him around. Repainted, everything on the body. The chains, the arms, come up to the horns and stuff on the boots. This is a cool figure. It has very limited articulation. The arms do move up and forward. The head does turn a bit, and the legs do pivot outward and inward. But that's it for the articulation. But I thought it was just a really kind of a cool looking figure. I had not seen this figure before. I don't know how hard it is to find these figures. I've looked on eBay and I haven't been able to find any. I forget the character's name, but it is from Warcraft. Very cool. It's very imposing. He stands about 20 inches tall. And again, I'll show you how he scales to your Joe. He towers over Joe. So this could be a great villain. In my photo story, he was actually a hero. But you could customize this and make him look, a lot of different ways. I'm going to be on the lookout to find another one of these figures because they're really cool. And I've got an idea of how I want to completely redo it and make it like a total villain for Joe. So this is a figure that you're probably familiar with. Jeff over at Skunkworks had gotten this figure, and it was the main adversary in our crossover story, the Time Phantom. And it was such a cool, unique figure that I just had to buy one too. It is made by Clutter Studios. It is the Outer Spacemen. And again, it's very limited articulation, guys. I mean, the arms swivel up and back, the legs swivel, and the feet pivot out. Very limited articulation, but just a really, really awesome, unique looking figure. I'll pull him in. It definitely has that 1950s, early 60s sci-fi horror look to him, and kind of has that look from the movie Mars Attacks. But really cool. The colors are just fantastic on this guy. Now this guy, he is rather spendy. I want to say I paid $90 for this guy, which is way more than I usually spend on an action figure. But I kind of needed it for our photo story, and I'm glad I got him. He's just a cool figure to have in your collection, and I'll show you how he looks up against a Joe. They're about the same size. I think he stands about 13 and a half inches tall, but really a cool figure. If you guys get a chance to pick this guy up, I would highly, highly recommend it. Here's another figure that you guys probably recognize. This is made by Kenner. This is from the Aquaman motion picture, is Black Mantis. It's really a well-made action figure. It's got pretty decent articulation. The head does spin side to side. The arms do go out at the shoulder. They bend at the elbow. The hands and wrists do twist. The legs go out, up and back, and they do bend at the knee. Just kind of a cool figure. Now, again, I used this in our crossover story, the Time Phantom. These were like killer androids. I called them my dark droids. They just look like something from outer space. I actually have 6 of these guys, and when you put them all together, it looks like you have an army of droids. It's really cool. I do like having these guys in my collection, and I think overall they're pretty versatile. You could use them for a wide range of things, but to me they look like they come from outer space, and that's the reason I got them, and that's the reason I used them. And again, we'll show you a side-by-side comparison with the Joe. It does stand 12 inches tall, and just a great villain for your Joe. Now here is a really, really cool, unique figure that maybe a lot of you guys have not seen. Again, I found this at an antique mall. It was out of box, but I knew right away from looking at it that it was a Todd McFarlane figure. I have looked high and low, guys. I do not know what this character is. And if you guys know, please leave me a comment and let me know what you think this guy is. But this guy is super creepy, super cool, makes a great monster villain for your Joes. So I'm going to bring him in. The head does tilt back and forth. The jaw does open very wide, but just really awesome detailing on this figure. Again, the arms do move. They bend at the elbow. They have like these wings. Look at the hand sculpts. But this guy is really, really cool. Like I said, I have not seen another one like this. I have looked high and low, and I cannot find this on anything that I research for Todd McFarlane figures. But the legs bend at the knee. They do bend at the ankle. But just a really creepy, awesome figure. If you guys can find one of these, I would really highly recommend you getting one of these. He's just awesome. Now, I did feature this guy in one of my very early photo stories. It was the well, now I forgot what it was. It's the Terror Down Under. Was just very creepy figure. He's just awesome. I love the coloring. I love the details, and size comparison with Joe. He's just very, very ominous. Yeah, like he's going to eat Joe. But this guy is really awesome. Again, this is really a unique figure. I have not seen another one, guys. So if you can identify this action figure, again, please leave me a comment. But yeah, really cool. Really glad to have this guy in my collection. All right, we come to this guy. Again, this is another figure that I found at an antique mall. Out of box, just sitting on a shelf. Thought it was very cool and creepy looking. I've looked everywhere on this figure, guys. There's no manufacturer name, there's no date. I don't know who makes this, and I don't really know where it came from, but he's really cool, like a dire wolf. I did use this guy in a photo story. I thought this looked a lot like maybe a chupacabra. It's very cool. See the face detail. The jaw does open very wide. It's very cool. It's a very unique figure. I mean, again, I don't know who makes it, but I was really impressed with it. The legs are completely articulated. They swivel back and forth. They bend here, and the paws do bend as well. We'll come to the back. Again, the legs swivel, the feet and paws are posable. The tail does go in and out, but that's all that does. But really, really cool looking. And I have not seen another one of these. It's very cool. And I'm going to show you the size comparison to a Joe. So as you can see up a little bit closer, it's a great scale for your 1/6 scale G.I. Joe Adventure Team. He's really, really a cool figure. I mean, that could be a werewolf, chupacabra, a hellhound, you name it. That figure has all kinds of potential just to be a nasty, nasty villain for your G.I. Joes. Okay, guys, that's it for this episode of Creature Feature. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you saw some things maybe you haven't seen before. Maybe it's giving you inspiration to make your own villains and monsters for your G.I. Joe Adventure Team. All right, guys, until next time, live free and rock hard.